Welcome back to Horror Movies.
In a few seconds, you're going to listen to a frightening tale narrated by me. Fear awaits you. Watch out and take care. The movie begins at a high school. The class teacher Shinobu takes the students into unprecedented happenings like traffic accidents, love, and friendship. He uses the students to examine what love and friendship can be before he dispatches the students for the day. After school, Kashimura and her dear friend Haruka walk out of the school together. Haruka asks Kashimura if they can go on a vacation after their graduation. Kashimura hesitates at first but later accepts to go on vacation with her friend. Haruka tells Kashimura that she saw another classmate of theirs, Sakaki, staring at Kashimura during the class. Kashimura doesn't notice this, so she shuns her friend's opinion. The students of the sports club play on the field. One of them, Sakaki, sees Wada on the rooftop imitating a gunshot at some students. The next day at school, Yoshikawa, who is known to be a latecomer, comes to school late. She enters her class and sees her classmates aren't in there. They had gone to another classroom. As Yoshikawa is about to join her classmates, Shinobu gives her a CD and asks her to play it for her classmates. He touches her head, and her eyes change in color. After this command, Yoshikawa goes to her classmates. Meanwhile, the remaining students in the class are in another classroom where they play and talk with each other. They take pictures of themselves. Kashimura and Haruka are together as they always are. Yoshikawa enters the class mindlessly. Her classmates try to talk to her about her lateness, but she didn't give it any attention. She goes straight to the video player and plays the CD their teacher had given her. The video then plays for the class. It shows some weird shapes and eyeballs, and the students watch in awe until the video stops playing. After it stops, some of them comment that the video is weird, while others see it as normal. Yoshikawa asks Yamamoto to help her get a book from the teacher, but Yamamoto refuses to go. He tells her she was the one that was late, so she should go. Yoshikawa repeats the word late and goes to the window of the class. Her classmates try to stop her, but she jumps off the balcony and dies. Everyone in the class is scared. Emotionally, Yamamoto takes out his phone to call the police, but before he can do so, he bites his hands repeatedly and eliminates himself. They are all perplexed. Shinobu, their teacher, enters, and the students feel relaxed. Unknown to them that this is their starting point, Shinobu tells them that one day, many people eliminated themselves, and these were people with little or no financial, mental, or physical illness, but they eliminated themselves regardless. He asks them what if people are hypnotized to eliminate themselves? Shinobu explains to the students that they are all under hypnosis, and when they trigger the hypnosis triggered by the signals, they will eliminate themselves. He tells them that the remaining 36 students in the class have the probability of eliminating themselves if they trigger any of the 100 signals of the hypnosis. Kubota gets furious. He attacks Shinobu and tells him that their classmates are dead. He demands him to remove the hypnosis immediately because they can't lose more people. Suddenly, Kubota walks to the wall and hits his head repeatedly on the wall till he dies. Shinobu informs the students that inciting violence against another person is part of the 100 signals. Terrified, Haruka takes her phone to call her mother, but she drops the phone immediately and uses her hands to tear off her tongue. Haruka's death saddens Kashimura. She takes a handkerchief and helps Haruka clean her blood. Another of their classmates cries. As she sheds tears, she picks up a flower vase and smashes it on her head. The students have figured out about 3 of the signals, leaving them to figure out the rest and avoid them if they intend to leave the school alive. Shinobu walks out of the class and asks them to figure the signals out by themselves. A student attempts to follow him, but he scares the boy by saying that leaving the class is also a signal. While all the students stay in the class, Wada steps out of the class courageously and realizes leaving the class isn't a signal. Every other student follows Wada. They run into the school compound, calling for help. Kashimura covers Haruka's remains with the handkerchief and summons her courage to live. As they all get towards the school gate, Satomi runs outside the school to call for help. She, unfortunately, triggers another signal. She twists her neck and dies. Shinobu tells them that leaving the school is a signal, and calling for help is also a signal. He says that if anyone helps them, then they will die. Also, Shinobu informs the students that he had called their parents to tell them the kids would stay over at school for cultural practice so no one would come to rescue them. Sonoda asks the first reasonable question. She asks Shinobu how they can get rid of the signals, and Shinobu tells them to follow him back into the class. As they enter the class, he tells them that the only way to get rid of the hypnosis is by surviving, which means when everyone else dies, the last person will be free. Shinobu tries to justify his acts and tells them that when they were all kids, they were taught not to kill, but as they grow and expose themselves to several pieces of information, their wisdom is filtered. He says that the experiment would help them understand society better. Kashimura replies to him saying, "So what?" She walks up to him courageously and calls him a murderer. She asks him to bring her Haruka because she wants her friend back. Shinobu reminds her of her wish to be a law student. He tells her she can't be a law student, so she should obey her teacher's words. After saying this, he goes to the balcony and jumps to his death. Leaving the students to their fate, one student suggests they should go around the school and find something that could clear their hypnosis. They split themselves into teams and go to search several places. While some go to search Shinobu's properties at the staff room, another set goes into the library to find more information. In the library, Asawa finds a book and attempts to read it. It is an English book, and Wada comes to Asawa and accuses Asawa of wanting to survive alone, so he collects the book from Asawa. Meanwhile, the team that went to the other places are back in the class. They can't find any of Shinobu's properties. Wada comes into the class and tells them he has found a solution. He tells them they were placed under the spell when they watched the video, and the spell had been around since the 1980s. He says that the only solution to the spell as written in the book is that he would free the surviving person. He says that the book contains 50 of the signals, and he believes the signals are correct because it has one of the signals Shinobu told them earlier, which is about inciting violence. He gives Asawa the chalk, and they write the 50 signals he found in the book on their board. They all conclude that although they do not know how they would escape, they at least know that they can survive with the knowledge of the signals they know. They decide to search the library for more information. Wada suggests they would need food. Some students go into their club to find drinks that they can survive on. They are all about their safety. Some students in the sports club room find some soda and savor it. They trigger another signal and eliminate themselves. Sakaki sees the dead boys and calls the others. Meanwhile, Wada is at the library with some other students. He meets one of their female classmates and takes her to the school clinic. He tells her he loves her and wants to use his last opportunity to make out with her, and he asks her to touch his private part. As she does, he tells her he actually found 60 signals, and one of the signals he didn't tell the others is that touching an aroused private part triggers your elimination. The girl stands up, takes one of the clinic scissors, and slits her neck. Another classmate who got aroused watching them touched himself and died. While Wada sits on the bed, Sonoda enters and tells him she knows what he has done. She tells him that the book he found had a Japanese version, and she is reading the Japanese version. After seeing the remains of their dead classmate, Kurino tells Sakaki that Wada and Asawa are hiding something. He is sure that the boys that died in the sports club room had eaten or drank something that killed them. Kashimura, on the other hand, asks Kurino to at least trust Wada. She says Wada would gain nothing by deceiving them. While they engage in this conversation, Minowa runs into the class to tell the others that she visited the clinic to get some drugs, and she found 2 dead students. Kashimura, Sakaki, and others run into the clinic while Kurino goes to find Wada holding a soda. Kashimura leaves the clinic to find Wada too. Kurino meets up with Wada and accuses Wada of deceiving them. He says that drinking the soda he is holding is part of the signals. Kashimura catches up with them and tells Wada she trusts him, so she hopes he isn't lying to them. Wada drinks the soda to make them trust him. He takes the drink and then passes it to Kashimura to take. Before Kashimura could take the drink, Kurino takes it from her and gulps it. He triggers another signal and attempts to eliminate himself while Wada spits out the soda he had taken. He didn't swallow it. Minowa, Seiya, and Sakaki, and Kashimura stay together to lay Kurino to rest. Sonoda enters the class to tell everyone about the 60 signals found. She says she won't tell them because she needs to survive. The remaining classmates work with Sonoda and Wada so they can survive. Depressed by Kurino's death, Seiya attempts to confront Wada despite Sakaki's attempt to stop him. Seiya and Sakaki meet Wada and Sonoda. Sonoda organizes 7 people to point fingers at Seiya as that is also one of the signals. Seiya then dies. Kashimura gets angry and runs away. Sakaki follows her. Minowa also likes Sakaki and wishes Sakaki liked her the same way he likes Kashimura. Minowa begs Sakaki to stay with her, but he refuses. In another class, 2 lovers stay there and profess their love. They stare at each other and trigger another signal which eliminates them. Kashimura and Sakaki see the dead body of the lovers and figure out the remaining signals. The remaining signals are the 36 laws Shinobu had taught them. They write the laws, and Kashimura goes to find Minowa. Minowa has grouped with Sonoda to kill Kashimura because of her jealousy. As they all point their fingers at Kashimura, Sakaki comes with another group now totaling 7. Kashimura calms her classmates. She tells them the remaining signals and informs them that if over one person survives till dawn, then they would all die. Meanwhile, Wada knows all the signals, and he has a master plan. He wears protective nylon and then sprays soda on all his surviving classmates, thereby inciting them to eliminate themselves. Only Sakaki, Kashimura and Haru survive the encounter. Wada doesn't have any more soda, so he goes into the clinic to find more. He sees a victim and takes his blood. Trying to convince Wada, Sakaki walks to Wada and asks him why he did that. Wada reminds Sakaki of their childhood conversation where he asked Sakaki to eliminate himself with him. He says that he tried to talk to Sakaki, but Sakaki was more interested in his soccer friends. He asks Sakaki to eliminate himself with him and offers him the blood of a victim. Kashimura walks in about that time and wants to stop Sakaki, but Haru stops her. Haru attacks Sakaki so he won't drink the blood, thereby triggering another signal. Haru is now eliminated. Sakaki and Kashimura drag Haru's corpse to where they had laid the corpse of their other friends. While mourning Haru, Sakaki shows Kashimura 2 pills. He says they are antidotes to the hypnosis, and since there are 3 left, 2 of them will have to take them while the last person waits till morning. Sakaki drops a note and a phone for Kashimura and asks her to check it by dawn. Then he goes to Wada and offers him the second pill, implying that he and Wada will take the pills and leave Kashimura to the fate of dawn. As Wada takes the pills, Sakaki laughs and confesses it is just a pain reliever. He throws the second pill away and attacks Wada. They both eliminate themselves, leaving Kashimura as the surviving student. She drags Sakaki's corpse into the room and takes the phone. She watches the video Sakaki left for her. It is a video of Kurino, Haru, Seiya, and Sakaki. The police rescue Kashimura, and news about the mass elimination at a high school spread far and wide. However, Shinobu's corpse isn't found at the school. After 5 years, everyone forgets about the incident except her. Ending the movie, Kashimura finds out about Shinobu's hideout. She tells him he is correct about her not becoming a lawyer or judge. She says she had spent time reading about criminal psychology and realizes that Shinobu had much fun watching the students who trusted him die such a brutal death. She plays the CD for Shinobu and walks away. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.